So this is day 2, track 3 at the Big O 2019. If you're going to be posting about us, make sure to use the hashtag Big O 2019 in all your various social medialities.
So skaters taking their places. Jammers appear to be number 137, Rosetta Stone, and number 606, Ariella Twister. Make sure you support both of these teams. They've both made trips, and they are both selling merchandise to support themselves. So if you like the action that you see, the best way to show your love to these leagues is to buy the merchandise that they sell.
Even if you don't like the teams, the merch is good looking anyway, and you'll be just a cooler person for wearing it.
There you go. Wear a Derby shirt to your office picnic and start a new conversation, make a new friend, make a new Derby fan. Shout out to David Dite over there in turn number 2. He is a photographer. I'd like to thank all of our photographers. Also got a good photographer camped out there in turn number 1. So much love to all the photographers here.
The true unsung heroes of roller derby who spend countless hours editing, uploading pictures, making us look like rock stars, putting so much effort into taking out my double chin. I appreciate every single thing that they do.
I need to grow a bushy beard. Making sure we are all according to Hoyle.
So that countdown was for air quotes 2 minutes to start.
Let's read an ad while we got the time.
Hey, let's pay some bills. Hit This Derby Gear is the exclusive skate shop for the Big O. Before you hit the track, hit this.
Do we have dedicated, like, is it a jammer line? Yeah, it's Derby Warehouse. All right.
Looks like we're finally going to get some action started on the Derby Warehouse Jam line. 606, Ariella Twister jamming for the Sacramento MaulStars against 137, Rosetta Stone of Sailor City.
MaulStars versus All-Stars. Here we go.
Ariella Twister going for that outside line, takes a big shoulder checks, just a malevolent maelstrom of bodies ricocheting off of everyone, and Sacramento gets out for lead jammer.
Brutal in that pack as they head into the backstretch. First penalty of the game. Multiplayer block. Sending a Sacramento blocker to the penalty box.
Ariella Twister almost saw some opening, but got knocked to the outside. Calls off the jam. Sacramento drawing first blood in this game.
Looking for the points. They're conferring. We know that Sailor City didn't get any.
2 points, Sacramento, 0 for Sailor City.
1 for the skater past, 1 for the skater in the box. Narnar Jinx is the skater in the box, an aptly named skater for today. Murray, who's out there on the jammer line?
We have body jamming for Sacred City up against 479, finish it of Sailor City. Sailor's got that tri-force of power, holding, finish it. Taking her left, taking her right, taking her outside, recycling back around, and second lead jam in a row goes to body, but that baby done been eaten.
Yeah, picked up lead jammer that then got reabsorbed back into the pack. Jam is called, first scoreless of the day. Keeps the score at 2-0 in favor of Sacramento.
Delicious, delicious baby. Ariella Twister back on the jam line for Sacramento, lining up against 587 Roja for Sailor City. Full contingent of blockers on the track in front of them.
Here we go.
Roja pushing up against that Triforce of Sacramento and gets out first lead jam of the game for Sailor City. Ariella Twister knocked to the outside, recycling back around. Impenetrable 3-wall of Sacramento, and here is Sailor City. There goes Sailor City
We have
for
a
a
lead change.
4-point scoring pass.
Lead change, first points of the day for Sailor City. Penalty coming in, illegal position at the top of the pack.
Both jammers out in scoring contention. As jam is called off, we got 2 more points assessed to Sailor City. They have 6 and the lead, Sacramento MaulStars with 2.
All right, jam number 3. We've already had 2 lead changes. Out on the line, Body for Sacramento, going to take on Perla from Sailor City.
Sac does have the 4-3 blocker advantage. .1971 Romo is just all over Body, joined by the other pair of Sailor blockers.
Good job by Rose Villain trying to break up that wall, punch a hole for her jammer to get through.
There's a lot of physicality here early in day 2 of the Big O. We got a run back on the Sailor City jammer. Back is made to the backstretch, and there goes number 12, Perla, lead jammer Sailor City.
Nice block by number 18. That's Body.
Sacramento is still working on the initial pass and just absolutely swarmed by Sailor City blockers. Looks like there has been a star pass. 0618 Pink Floyd, jammer record now for Sacramento. Can't come back around in time as Perla hits it, splits it, quits it. 4 unanswered points goes to Sailor City, extending their lead.
First star pass of the game. 5-1 ratio, 10 plays 2.
Rosetta Stone jamming for Sailor up against Namaslay, 108 for Sacramento.
Second jam for Rosetta Stone, first jam for Namaslay.
Namaslay taking to the inside. Oh, throws a Rainmaker and gets a retaliation hit. Big run back there by number 2, Kaku.
Con Artist sent to the penalty box on a multiplayer, and now the pack in retrograde. We're going to go all the way to turn number 3.
Rosetta Stone digging in deep, engaging. That front 2 wall splits right on through. Lead jammer Sailor City.
That's 3 leads in a row for Sailor City. Got a directional play penalty sending a Sacramento blocker to the penalty box. That's 1985 Con Artist for directional play. And the jam is called. Let's get those tallies. 3 points up in the air for Sailor City. Brings them to 13. They've scored on the last 3 jams, and Sacramento has not scored since jam number 1.
WFTDA Continental Cups are happening this year. Do you want more information on the Continental Cups or their hosts? Visit WFTDA.com/cups for all the information.
Ariella Twister out on the line for the 3rd time for Sacramento, and number 479 Finish It on the line for the 2nd time for Sailor City.
Ariola Twister gets out at turn 1, lead jammer Sacramento. Sailor City also in scoring position. Ariola Twister going sky high through the pack. 4 points Sacramento. Finish It trying to apex jump of their own. Can't stick the landing, has to recycle back around. Now Ariola Twister on scoring pass number 2. Taking big hits left and right by every single Sailor City blocker.
Nice block by Amanita. Nice hit at the back of the pack by Crystal. Illegal position is the call on number 67, Rose Villain.
Defense locked down by both these teams. Both jammers going to the inside, recycling back around. Ariola Twister run back by 70-74 Ataxia.
It is like a video game battle in turn number 3.
Finish it, shrugs off some huge sternum checks, gets through, scores 4 for Sailor City. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the track, Sacramento gets a second scoring pass for 8 points.
8 points is the highest jam of the game for either team.
Body jamming for Sacramento against 5'8", 7 Roja of Sailor City. Full contingent of blockers on the track. Narnar Binks getting the run back on Roja.
Directional play penalty called on the on the Sailor City pivot. Track cut called. Who's leaving on the track cut? It is the Sacramento jammer. First jammer penalty of the game. We have a power jam for Sailor City.
Roja still working on the Sailor City initial pass. It's being bounced off of every blocker in blue. This Sacramento with a suffocating defense here on the Sailor City Power Jam, which has been effectively killed as Body back on the track. Still, I believe, still working on the initial pass as well.
Yeah, lead is open. Well, lead is open to Sailor City.
Body with some fancy footwork there at turn 1, but gets called on the
cut. Sorry.
And in the fracas, Roja able to get out, complete the initial pass, earn lead jammer status.
Roja now 2 for 2 on that jammer line.
That's 2 minutes. That's the jam. Roja escorted to the outside by 124. Crystal at the tail end. And only 3 points picked up by Sailor City with back-to-back power jam opportunities.
21-10 now. Sailor City has put points on the board in every jam except the first 2. So 5 straight jams in a row. Sailor City has put points on the board. Stoppage of play here. It is an official timeout. And speaking of officials, let's thank our officials. We got Pi Radical, Kieran Duncan, Elemento, Nacho, Beverly Crusher, Duke Skellington, and Graffy as the referees. Our officials are Extra Crispy, Jack Attack, Robin Buddha, Bola Constrictor, Neutron Scar, Time Lord, India Pale Al, Terabyte, and Eagle Eye Mary. Put your hands together for our officiating crew this morning. If you are watching the broadcast, this is a simulcast hybrid house call. If you're watching the broadcast and are just turning in, this is Sailor City versus Sacramento. Sailor City in white, they are the Sailor City Rollers All-Stars. Sacramento in blue, they are the Sacramento Roller Derby Capital MaulStars.
So we're just doing a little bit of bookkeeping here. Making sure everything recorded on paper matches what's being projected. And getting ready to start now. Power start for Perla of Sailor City and a blocker advantage 4-on-3 as well.
Slight modification to the scoreboard. The score is now 22-10 after that official timeout.
Perla sidestepping on the inside line, gets through lead jammer Sailor City. Body back on the track. Is taken to the outside of that top apex as Perla gets through. Scoring pass, 4 points. Right behind there's a jammer swap. Rooney 606. Ariella Twister, the jammer record now for Sacramento.
First jam for Perla, 1 for 1, and picking up 2 points. Excuse me, 4 points. Oh, 2 points for Sacramento, 4 points, 5 points for Sailor City.
I got Namaste jamming for Sacramento against. It's 137 Rosetta Stone. This time Sacramento with a blocker advantage, but that ain't gonna slow down Rosetta Stone, who gets through at turn 1. Lead jammer, Sailor City.
3 lead jams in a row for Sailor City, 6 of the last 7.
Namaste escapes on the backstretch. Now Sailor City in scoring contention.
Illegal position called. Sailor City losing their jammer on an illegal position.
Yeah, the penalty was assessed before the Rosetta Stone trying to call off that jam. Now,
so this jam will go the full 2 minutes, our first 2-minute jam of the game.
So in that confusion, Namaste scoring 2 passes already, coming in for a third. And no one eligible to become a lead jammer. We will have a full 2-minute shootout as Rosetta Stone back on the track.
Stone had lead jammer and lost it with the forearm, so that's a 2-minute because lead was lost when she went to the penalty box. Correction, that was a forearm, not an illegal position. Penalty coming in now, Sailor City losing a blocker to the box.
Penalty box emptied out for a moment. There's another Sailor City blocker in there, joined by a Sacramento pivot.
Sacramento pivot called on a forearm. That's pink.
Sacramento on their 5th scoring pass, Sailor City on their 2nd.
Hey, all of a sudden, look at that score. Nice thought by Sacramento at the very end there, but good job by number 137, Rosetta Stone, weathering that last blow.
Sacramento just eating up the points deficit. Only down by 4 now. Sailor City 35, Sacramento 31. We're just about midway through the first period.
Both jammers putting up the highest point tally for their teams, and that 19 points is the highest tally of the game. Timeout has been called by Sailor City, their first timeout. Oh, and now this has turned into an official review by Sailor City. So while we got this official review going on, I want to tell you a little bit about the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. If you want more information on the Continental Cups or their host, visit WFTDA.com/cups. Going to be Continental Cups, the North American East, the North American West, and the European Continental Cup. So go to WFTDA.com/cups, find out more. So as soon as we know what the gist of the official review is, we will tell you.
Or we could just wildly speculate.
Well, on a pure broadcast, you could wildly speculate. Oh, here we go.
Sailor City has asked for the removal of the skating out of bounds penalty against their jammer during that jam.
So it was an illegal position penalty, and it was assessed for skating out of bounds, and so that is what we are reviewing.
Yeah. One thing I love about working the Big O every year is to get all these teams coming over from all around the globe. Sailor City representing Buenos Aires, Argentina. We also have Copenhagen roller derby from Denmark, Montreal, Dock City from Sweden. Just teams you normally wouldn't see. Are just because Eugene is a destination for global roller derby, and Big O is always a great event.
Yeah, right at the heart of it. We have teams here from Baja to British Columbia, the entire Pacific coast, all the way up to Alaska, represented here. From as far south as Argentina, from as far east as Denmark. So the referees are discussing now the official review. They will tell the captains, and then our head ref, Pi Radical, will tell you the result. In the meantime, let's tell us about Eugene Cascades. They have real adventure. They're real close by. And you talk about Eugene being a destination city. Plan your Oregon vacation at Eugene, Cascades, and Coast.
You know, it's early in the morning still, day 2, Big O. I'm not going to do a lot of like announcer cliches to get the crowd warmed up, but I do have my one trick that I do.
Do it.
The Murray Grande special, it's with a 100% success rate. Something, something, something. Pander, pander, pander. Make some noise.
There it is.
Always works. Always works.
I'll put that in my toolkit. Something, something, something. Pander, pander, pander. Make some noise. I don't know. It has to be you.
Yeah. Well, plus we have to work out the licensing fees.
Like to thank the host leagues for putting this together. This is a fantastic tournament. My first time out here, but definitely not going to be my last.
After review, we've decided that the skating out of bounds penalty will remain. Sailor City has lost their official review for this period.
Thank you very much, Pi Radical. So Sailor City does not retain their official review, and we are going to get back underway. Take us out to the Derby Warehouse Jam Line.
There's a 3-3 pack lined up behind them are Ariella Twister and 479 Finish It. Finish It on the inside lane, gets through lead jammer Sailor City with Ariella Twister sprinting behind.
4 lead jams in a row for Sailor City, 7 of the last 8. Oh, getting low. Did the sneaky points come through? Referees are conferring. Definitely 3 on the board for Sailor City. That'll bring them up to 38. It's gonna be close. Let's see those tallies. So far, nothing showing. One point.
Single point. You have until that 4th whistle blows to keep accruing points. Great hustle there by Sacramento.
Sailor City has put points on the board in the last 8 jams. Who's jamming?
Roja and Crystal wearing the stars amidst a 4-4 pack. Crystal taken to the outside by Kaku. It's just one single mass of humanity right before turn 1 that Roja is able to escape lead jammer Sailor City.
Roja's 3 for 3. This is the first appearance for Crystal on the jammer line.
Huge shoulder check there by Nard Jinx. That almost rattled my teeth loose. And on the front stretch, looks like there's a Star Pass body now with that jammer cover in hand. Still working on Sacramento's initial trip.
Second time Sacramento's passed the Star.
Rojas seeing a lot more defense this time around, especially from 124 Crystal.
Pack strung out from the pivot line to turn 2. Now starting to coalesce back in turn number 1.
Rojas able to extend out the pack, get through on the backstretch. 4 points, Sailor City. Sacramento still working on the initial trip, which is completed. Second scoring pass now for Rojas, and it's in the history books. Calls off the jam right before Sacramento can catch up to the back of the pack. So 8 unanswered points goes to Sailor City, extending out their lead by 14.
Roughly a 3-1 margin. Those 8 points put on the board by number 587, Rojas, matched the highest score for Sailor City. Of course, highest score of the game was 19 points, put up in jam number 9. Pink Floyd out there donning the helmet cover. First time on the line for Pink Floyd.
Against Perla, number 12 for Sailor. Pink Floyd trying to muscle her way through the back, but gets escorted out by 70-74 Ataxia. Keep an upright throw with shoulders, getting through, lead jammer Sacramento. Star pass on the Sailor City side, completing their initial pass.
Sailor City's first star pass.
Pink Floyd calls off the jam, puts 3 unanswered points on the board.
First time Sailor City has been held scoreless since jam number 2 when neither team scored. Breaks a streak of 8 jams in a row that Sailor City had scored.
12 minutes remaining in the first period. Sailor City is up 46 to Sacramento's 35. Rosetta Stone wearing the star for Sailor City against 108 Namaslay of Sacramento. Forearm called on a Sacramento blocker. Makes it a 3-3 pack with no lead jammer yet. Just anchored 3 walls, front and back by both teams, making these jammers dig down deep.
The Delta of Doom.
Rosetta Stone dumped to the outside, long recycle back.
That brace 2 wall has really revolutionized the sport.
Wavo coming in from the penalty box, looking to open up a lane for their jammer, but another hit to the outside sends Rosetta Stone recycling back around.
Direction of play penalty coming in. Sailor City losing on blocker, and look at that. What do we have there, Murray?
High stepping on the inside lane of the backstretch, 108 Namaslay. Gets through the back, makes the initial trip. Kaku gets the star for Sailor City.
And a pivot to the penalty box. That's Crystal for Sacramento. So Sacramento will start the next set of whistles pivotless. But only the second time this game Sacramento's had back-to-back leads, jams 1 and 2. And now jams 12 and 13. Sailor City held scoreless for back-to-back jams also for the first time since jams 1 and 2.
606 Areola Twister jamming for Sacramento against 4-7-9 finish it of Sailor City. Another 3-3 pack as we start and finish it. Blast right through the center. Lead jammer Sailor City with Areola Twister coming in hot behind.
Finish it now 2 for 4 from the jammer line.
Finish it. Skating backwards, calling off that jam, getting 4 unanswered points.
12-point lead, 50-38, heading into jam number 15.
Next up on the Derby Warehouse jam line, derbywarehouse.com for all your Derby gear needs, is Pink Floyd and 2290 Manos de Tierra.
Pink Floyd 1 for 1 on the line. First appearance on the jammer line for Manos de Tijera.
The frantic collision of bodies as the pack gets to the top apex. Pink Floyd runs and runs to catch up with the sun and earns lead jammer.
Yeah, Sacramento hiding their light under a bushel. Freud didn't come out and jam until jam number 12, but already 2 for 2 on the jammer line.
There's a star stash by Manos de Tijera. Gets out, completes the initial trip for Sailor City. Pink Floyd has one to beat. Gets through, calls off the jam. 4 points unanswered for Sacramento.
This matchup keeps getting better and better. You can't hear me? Is that what you're saying?
Not with that going.
All right, who is out there on that Derby Warehouse jam line?
Well, that would be Aerial, Twister, and Perla. Sailor City with a momentary 4-3 blocker advantage. And the odds have been evened.
Perla's 1 for 2 on the jammer line. 606, so many appearances, it's going to take me a second to do the math.
Aerial Twister taken to the very edge of that inside lane, stays in bounds. Still pushing up at turn 1 against the braced 3-wall of Sailor City. As Perla run back by Nar Binks. Then Con Artists with a shot of their own and a run back on Perla. No lead jammer yet. Perla finds an opening at turn 1, gets through, lead jammer Sailor City.
Low block sending Kaku to the penalty box.
Perla now in scoring contention, tiptoeing around the Sacramento wall. 4 points. And right behind, Aerial Twister completes the Sacramento initial trip. Jammer collision at turn 4. Perla with some great lateral motion, trying to sidestep around again, and there's Aerial Twister blowing by everybody. 4 points, Sacramento.
Jam is called. First scoring pass for Sailor City gets them 4. Second scoring pass gets them 3 for a total of 7.
The 5.5 minutes before we go to halftime. Sailor City has an 11-point lead, 57 to Sacramento's 46. Next up on the Derby Warehouse jam line, 137 Rosetta Stone and 108 Namaslay.
Here we go.
Rosetta Stone fights through the pack, high stepping like a fullback, gets through lead jammer for Sailor City.
First time Sailor City's had consecutive leads since jams 10 and 11.
Red Rover, send Rosetta Stone right over, straight through the Sacramento wall for 4 points.
Completing the initial pass in stealth mode. Back block coming in. Who's leaving on the back block? It's the jammer. Power jam, 2-minute jam.
And Rosetta Stone now coming in for scoring contention, season opening on the inside lane. Gets rocked there by number 13, Captain Barbosa.
Direction of play penalty now coming in. Pack really thinning out. There are as many referees as skaters. Full house for Sailor City in the penalty box. This is just the medicine that Sacramento needs. And here come the MaulStars.
The scoring pass within me respects the scoring pass within you. Namaslay with 4.
Army of 2 out there for Sac City. Now here comes some reinforcements.
Power Jam has come to an end. Rosetta Stone back on the track, resuming Sailor City's second scoring pass.
Neither Jammer's going to be able to stop this. We're going the full 2.
Sailor City back wall is just on lock. But 911 fire engine Sacramento busting up that wall.
Multiplayer assessed on number 108, Namaste. Track cut called now on Sacramento's Jammer. So, the vicissitudes of fortune. Goes Power Jam one way to Power Jam to Power Start the other. Let's take a gander at those point tallies.
Both teams racking them and stacking them. Sacramento with a 2-point edge, 12-10 on that jam.
So an 11-point game, 67-58.
Finish it with the power start for Sailor City and blocker advantage. And did not stick the landing, got a no pass, no penalty, so ineligible to become lead jammer, but on a scoring pass.
Forearm penalty coming in on Pink Floyd. They're losing their pivot. Track cut.
Namaste out of the penalty box into the fracas, working on the Sacramento initial pass.
Boy, this penalty box is filling up rapidly. Forearm penalty sending Kaku to the penalty box now.
Sneak through for a 4-point scoring pass.
Lead is finally assessed. Forearm penalty coming in on the Sailor City pivot. And an extra penalty added to that Sailor City pivot for misconduct.
Namaste able to call off the jam.
Stoppage of play. Official review. Only team that can call one is Sacramento. So with 1 minute and 25 seconds left on the clock, I think this would be a perfect time to say, hit this. Derby Gear is the exclusive skate shop for the Big O. Before you hit the track, hit this. That's Hit This Derby Gear. And if you're feeling social, the social media team is working feverishly all weekend long to bring you live tweets and Facebook messages throughout the event. So check your social media, stay social. Much love to our social media team. Our jam line has been sponsored by Derby Warehouse, derbywarehouse.com for all your Derby gear needs.
Speaking of social media, if you're going to be posting about what's going on in the tournament, use the hashtag BigO2019. And if you're home, we want to see your pets. Use the hashtag BigOCats, BigO Dogs, BigO Macaws.
Big O Menagerie.
Yeah.
Big O Zoo. Big O Zoo could work. So I'm going to take this opportunity to give a special shout out. Un saludo para el número 22 Optimus Squad que nos mira desde su casa. Sabemos que estás desconsolada para no poder estar acá y nosotros también. Derby love para vos, hermano en patinas. Optimus Squad. Here's Piratical.
Sailor City is seeking a cut call against the white jammer during the initial pass.
All right, seeking a cut call.
Referees conferring near the top of the track.
Desperately looking for content, desperately looking for something to say. See, we got 9 different countries represented here at this tournament. Denmark is here.
Canada,
USA, Mexico, it's a team from Baja, from Mexicali.
of course, Argentina.
Sweden, yes, of course. How could we forget Argentina? And Sweden, those are the 6. Canada, USA, Sweden, Denmark, Argentina.
And Idaho.
Yeah, Idaho, its own country. They're living in their own private
Last
Idaho.
time I was there, it was...
Yeah, we have 9 different states. We have 4 Canadian provinces represented. We have Alberta, Saskatchewan, British Columbia, and Quebec. And that's just the teams.
Right.
We're going to get a lot further once we start getting into the rest. Let's turn it back over to Piratical.
To clarify, Sacramento is seeking a cut call against the White Jammer. Upon review, the initiator stepped out of bounds after the block. They were the foremost skater. No other skater had superior position. Therefore, the no call will stand. Sacramento loses their official review.
Losing that official review with just a minute and a half remaining in the game. Both teams have a full contingent of timeouts remaining.
Yes, that's correct. Sailor City originally took one, but then it was turned into an official review. So making sure everything's all ready and set out there on the Derby Warehouse jam line.
6:06, Ariella Twister going to be wearing the star for Sacramento against 587 Roja of Sailor City.
This is the 8th jam for number 606. It's only the first period, and 606 has worn the star 8 times. Ariella Twister putting in the work.
Three-on-two blocker advantage goes to Sacramento. And Ariella Twister absolutely flattened on the outside there by the Sailor City defense. That was 7-0-7-4 Ataxia. But still keeping up, going through lead, Jammer Sacramento.
Multiplayer block coming in from the back.
Ariella Twister going sky high, almost getting caught in the rafters for that 4-point scoring pass.
I don't know if that's one multiplayer block or called 3 times or 3 different multiplayer blocks.
Roja escaping the back for the Sailor City initial pass as Ariella Twister scores for a second time. Ariella Twister going skates over Tea Kettle, calls off the jam as Sailor City puts 4 points on the board.
Illegal contact on Kaku. We will have another jam. The lineup will not hit 0 by the time the period clock does. So another jam coming up. 10 points on the board for Sacramento there, brings them up to 68. 4 points added to Sailor City's total puts them at 79.
Perla, number 12, wearing the star for Sailor City against 0618 Pink Floyd of Sacramento. Sacramento starting again with a 3-2 block advantage, but the odds have been even as 3-3 in the pack.
And now we are in added time.
Pink Floyd gets out alongside Perla.
Oh,
Sacramento does have lead status.
that is 3 leads in a row for Sacramento to end the first period. Auspicious comeback. Things were a little dicey in the middle of the first period for Sacramento, but here they come.
Pink Floyd blasting by everybody. 4 points, Sacramento. And Capital MaulStars defense doing a great job holding back Perla as Pink Floyd's come back around for a second scoring pass. Pink Floyd taken out of bounds by number 2, Kaku.
It is an abattoir on the backstretch.
Four points picked up by Sailor City.
Neither team can register an official review because they both lost theirs, so it is halftime. Let's take a look at those point tallies. 4 on the board for Sailor City brings them up to 83. And 7 on the board for Sacramento puts them at 75. It is an 8-point game. Only 2 scoring passes separating these two teams.
We're going to take a brief intermission, so stay tuned. If you're here in the venue, make sure to get some refreshments, get some merchandise. If you're watching at home, go to hitthis.com or derbywarehouse.com.
Yeah, come on back. A couple minutes before the start of the second half, we'll have some numbers to throw at you, and then we'll take you into the second half of Sailor City versus Sacramento. All right. Welcome back to track number 3 at the Big O, day number 2, game number 1. A matchup between number 37 ranked Sailor City Rollers All-Stars, number 37 ranked by the Women's Flat Track Derby Association, and number 47 Sacramento Roller Derby Capital MaulStars, ranked number 47th by the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. So 37 playing 47, Sailor City in white, Sacramento in blue. I'm Bobby Narco.
I'm Murray Grande, and something that I just read by following the hashtag BigO2019 is that if anyone here has any roller derby gear they want to donate, please drop it off at the Sailor City table so they could take it home with them to Argentina to help spread roller derby in their homeland.
Yeah, hard to get gear in some places, so give what you can. Some brief numbers. I promised you some numbers. Sailor City's had lead jam 11 times. Sacramento's had lead jam 9 times. Both teams have passed the star twice. In terms of trips to the penalty box by the jammer, Sailor City's jammers have made 2 visits, and Sacramento's jammers have made 3. There was one jam with absolutely no score. That was jam number 2. Every jam has had a lead jammer. There were 2 2-minute jams. They took place in jams number 9 and 17. Leading all scorers with 19 points in jam number 9, that's 108 Nama Slay. And high scorer for Sailor City, number 137, Rosetta Stoned, put 10 points on the board in jam number 17.
And Rosetta Stone is on the jam line right now against Areola Twister. Full contingent of blockers on the track. Areola Twister high stepping through. Gets lead jammer for Sacramento to kick off our second period.
So 9th jam for Areola Twister. Twister had 8 in the first half.
Gets through untouched on the first scoring pass as Sailor City passes the star. Areola Twister gets scoring pass number 2 in the record books. 8 points, calls it off, holding Sailor scoreless. And we have a tie game to start off the second half. 83-83.
Could not get any closer.
Not with that attitude. Not with any attitude.
All right, brand new game to start the second period.
On the derbywarehouse.com jam line is Pink Floyd and Finish It. Suffocating 3 walls, holding back both jammers. Pink Floyd almost on opening on the outside, but got knocked out of bounds by number 8, Francesa. And in the fracas, Finish It gets through lead jammer Sailor City.
4-on penalty coming in. White losing a blocker.
Finish It ricocheting off the Sacramento wall, calls off the jam. Got 2 points on that pass. Sacramento scoreless.
So our 4th lead change of the game coming in jam number 2 of the second period. I count a tie as a lead change because it went from having a lead to not having a lead.
Right.
And that's a change.
Regardless, I'll take a sip of my organic coffee. Areola Twister against Roja. Sailor City with a 4-3 blocker advantage.
Direction of play penalty coming in. Sacramento losing a blocker.
Areola Twister ducking down low on the outside of turn 1. Lead jammer Sacramento.
Teams alternating leads. Teams alternating lead jammers and a little bit alternating leads. Yeah, we have a lead change right there.
Untouched on the inside line for a 4-point scoring pass. With Roja drafting right behind, completing Sailor City's initial trip.
All white at the back. Grabs the points if they can. calls it off to prevent White from scoring. We already have a lead change. Let's see if there was any points. There was one. Total of 5.
So the Capital MaulStars up by 3 points now, 88-85 over Sailor City All-Stars.
5th lead change in the game, and the third lead change in a row.
Pink Floyd and Perla wearing the stars. Sailor City has another pack advantage as Pink Floyd taking to the outside, bash left, bash right, but keeps going through. Lead jammer Sacramento.
Multiplayer assessed, still waiting for someone to leave on it. There it is, Sailor City blocker leaving on the multiplayer.
Both jammers now in scoring contention. Pink Floyd hits that front 2 wall as Sailor City calls off the jam. Gets 3 more unanswered points for the team in blue.
Extending that lead now, 91-85. An upset in the brewing, but I wouldn't count out Sailor City anytime soon.
You know, it's never too early to start thinking about the after party. And tonight, that's going to be happening at the Beer Stein, 1591 Willamette Street, Eugene, Oregon, 21 and over. You got 30 evolving taps, 1,000 different bottles of beer.
Evolving
and in the meantime,
and revolving. We got 137 out on the line. That's Rosetta Stone going up against number 108, Nama Slay. Both go-to jammers for their teams.
Namaste, lead jammer, blink and you missed it, already coming around into scoring position, but gets absolutely stymied at the pivot line by Sailor City's rotating defense. Namaste finds an opening, rushes through the pack, gets 4 points for Sacramento. Star pass on the Sailor City side.
Number 1971, Romo.
Namaste hits it, splits it, quits it, gets 4 more points. 8 on the jam for Sacramento.
So now a double-digit lead for the MaulStars. Second time the Star has been passed to number 1971 this half. Third time in the game. Also, Peck got the Star back at jam number 12 of the first period. Who's out there on that Derby Warehouse jammer line?
For Sacramento, and finish it for Sailor City, the former of whom is lead jammer at the top apex.
4 lead jams in a row now for Sacramento, and 5 of the 6 that have taken place in this period. 4-hour penalty coming in. Sacramento losing a blocker.
Aerial Twister was absolutely flattened by 07 Jungle Julia, forcing a call off and a big run back. Sailor City taking a team timeout now.
Yeah, they're very first.
Eugene Weekly is Lane County's local alternative free newspaper. Your insight into Eugene can be found online at eugeneweekly.com. We have action coming today, tomorrow, 3 tracks here at the Big O 2019. We have WFTDA games, MRDA games, JRDA games.
Yeah, it's a Derby paradise here in Eugene,
is.
Oregon, and the weather is phenomenal. If you get a chance to leave this building, you will be happy that you did. But you're going to miss the Derby. You're going to want to come back right away.
Well, you could go outside and watch the live stream.
There you go. Take your tablet with you, go outside, enjoy the
Exactly.
sun and the Derby.
I know, I keep the internet in my pocket. Most people do too.
Sacramento Roller Derby wants to give some shout-outs to some skaters that couldn't make the trip. They want to say hi to Sonyata Frade, to Bird Dog, to Naka, and to Lana Payne. Also want to give some love to number 94, Talls, who is coaching from the bench.
Hey, timeout is just about over. Pink Floyd and Roja wearing the stars behind a 3-4 pack in favor of Sailor City.
Pink Floyd rocking out there on that Derby Warehouse jammer line before the jam began, as only Pink Floyd can rock. Multiplayer block on the jammer. Don't see that every day.
So Pink Floyd lead jammer and power jam in favor of Sacramento, coming in, throwing shoulders like a Stan Hansen lariat, knocking down defenders, but then gets absolutely swarmed by the Sacramento defense for a hot second. Finds an...
You are a poet, sir. A poet. 4 points put on the board. Brings Sacramento up over the century mark there at 103. It's going to be a power start as number 587 Rojas still in the penalty box on that multiplayer.
So we're taking a brief official timeout.
Sacramento on a 28-2 run this period.
Yeah, Sacramento trailing almost the entire first half has just blown up the scoreboard here in the early moments of the second half. But remember, Sacramento ranked 47th, Sailor City ranked 37. So on paper, Sailor City's with the advantage.
We're in official timeout situation right now. Fun fact about Sacramento, there were originally two roller derby teams. There was Sac City and there was Sacred City, both out of Sacramento, California. Those two teams merged and became Sacramento Roller Derby, the team skating here today. I believe there's also two teams in Buenos Aires. Sailor City, I don't remember the other name of the team, but two teams out of Buenos Aires, Argentina. Both were at the European qualifiers last year for the Women's Flat Track Derby Association.
Looks like we might be doing a little bit of track maintenance.
There you go. That'll stop action every time. And give us an opportunity to give some love to Rydell. The Big O is brought to you in part by the acclaimed Rydell Solaris. Solaris, the performance you demand, the comfort you've been missing. That's Rydell Solaris. Let's give some love to these volunteers. They are maintaining the track. They are keeping everybody safe. They're making sure all the skating conditions are awesome. Much love to everybody who is volunteering this weekend.
Yeah, Emerald City always runs a great tournament. I'm so happy to come here each and every year. They're so hospitable, make us feel so welcome, provide for us back in the volunteer room, and it's just such a great atmosphere here in Eugene. So thank you very much to Emerald City Roller Derby for making this magic happen.
I'd like to thank our tournament head officials. Our tournament head NSO is 9 Inch Wheels out of Rat City. Our assistant tournament head NSO is Rabid Dirty Fan out of Cincinnati. And also assistant tournament head NSO Switzerland out of the Sydney Roller Derby League.
Actually, it looks like the track maintenance is to desanguinate the backstretch.
There you go. It's a crime scene. I said it was an abattoir on the backstretch. Our tournament head referee is Umpire Strikes Back out of Rat City. Assistant tournament head ref Kurt So Good out of Saskatoon. And also assistant tournament head ref Nitsugi out of Rose City. So put your hands together for our tournament heads. Our tournament head announcer, Julia Sleazer out of Nottingham Roller Derby. Nottingham, UK, as in where Robin Hood and his merry men were. And if you liked what you saw, you can read about it tomorrow in the Eugene Weekly. Eugene Weekly is Lane County's local alternative free newspaper. Your insight into Eugene can be found online at eugeneweekly.com. All right, almost all the bills paid. Still 23 minutes and 8 seconds left.
Decontamination is completed.
CSI.
Ariel Twister with the power start for Sacramento behind a full contingent of blockers lined up at the official timeout line. This pivots never line up there anymore. Ariel Twister trying to press that Sailor City wall through, getting a lot of screens from the Sacramento blockers. Extending out to the very end of the engagement zone.
Yeah,
Thrusts through for lead status as the power jam comes to an end.
that pack was strung out from apex to apex. What an apex move.
Aerial twister leaping sky high. Getting through for a scoring pass. Roja completes the initial trip for Sailor City. Aerial twister gets the legs swept out on the second scoring pass, picking up a full contingent of points on that pass. 8 on the jam.
111 to 85. 3 aces on the board for Sacramento. I wouldn't mind having that poker hand. Sailor City hasn't scored since jam number 2 of this period. Perla going to do her best to take care of that. And that is number 18, Bawdy on the line for Sacramento. Not the first time these two have squared off by any stretch.
Sailor City does have a 4-3 blocker advantage. And Bawdy just pinballing off of every single white jersey. And there is Perla getting through lead jammer.
Only the second time Sailor City's had lead this period, and second time since jam number 2. We had to go all the way back to jam number 2.
Bawdy escapes the pack for the Sacramento initial pass. All right, as Perla comes into scoring position, and now Bawdy racking up some points. Jam is called off. 2 points. Sailor City ending their drought. And 3 points for Sacramento.
27-point lead. .21 minutes left to play. Sacramento leading by 27 over Sailor City. Out on that jammer line, number 108 on the blue team is Namaste, and number 479 is Finish It.
This time Sacramento starts with a 4-3 blocker advantage. Finish It. Gets drugged to the inside, has to recycle back around 970. Nar jinx. And at turn 2, Namaste still working against the defense. Finish It out of nowhere like an RKO. Gets through lead jammer. Namaste just an eyelash behind and in front.
And when the jammer in the lead is no longer the lead jammer, you're almost always going to get a call off. So our second scoreless jam of the game, we had one. That was jam number 2 of the first period. Only the second time neither team has put points on the board. Maintains that 27-point lead, 114 to 87, heading into jam number 11.
Quick lineup to start the next jam. Areola Twister versus 137 Rosetta Stone of Sailor City.
Sailor City working a pretty strong 4-jammer rotation. They have had a relief jam every now and then by Manos de Tejera, but otherwise it has been Perla, Rosetta Stone, Roja, and Finish It.
That pack was any tighter, it'd be an event horizon at the top apex. Now with a run back of the Sacramento jammer. Aerial Twister once again taking a trip out of bounds, going behind 101 Tiente Dan. And on the backstretch, Rosetta Stone earns lead jammer for Sailor City.
First time Sailor City has had 3 lead jams in a row, going back to jams 10, 11, and 12 of the first period.
Fire Engine sends Rosetta Stone to the outside, and a big run back. Almost losing a time zone there. Areola Twister stashes the start, gets through the back, completes the Sacramento initial pass. Rosetta Stone scores 4 points and calls it off.
So here come the Sailor City Rollers All-Stars. Who here is rooting for Sacramento? How about Sailor City? Where are my Sailor City fans at? All right. Who loves roller derby?
Who likes making noise for no reason at all? There we go. Manos de Tierra jamming for Sailor City, body wearing the Sacramento star.
Only the second appearance on the jammer line. Manos de Tierra had a one relief jam in the first period.
Collisions galore as the pack gets to turn 2. Manos de Tierra taken to the outside, recycling back around. Body working against the Sailor City 3-wall with Kaku bridging in between.
Jenga.
Everybody trading numbers with everybody else. And at the very end of the engagement zone, Manos de Tierra earns lead jammer.
And it's a power jam. That is a forearm called on the Sailor City jammer.
Power jam and
Sacramento
pack
jammer.
advantage. Only 2 blockers on the track for Sacramento. Manos de Tierra puts them all in her rear view for 4 points.
Destruction of the pack called now. That's number 117, She-Ra. So there's only one Sailor's. There's only army of one on the track. 970. Give it up for Narnar, Jinx, an army of one. Here comes the cavalry.
Body back on the track. Power jam comes to an end. Manos de Tierra dumped to the inside.
White 2 back block. That's Kaku. And 2 minutes ends the jam. Let's get those tallies. Sailor City up over that century mark, 101, only a 13-point game. Ties the highest jam of the game, set in jam number 17 by number 137, Rosetta Stone for Sailor City, 10 points.
So many people went to the penalty box and that I think you sat for 30 seconds, Bobby.
I did. I think I got an extra minute for the insubordination.
Roja untouched on the outside line. Gets lead jammer for Sailor City.
That's five. Go ahead. 5 minutes in a row.
Get back to the penalty box. Rhodes Warrior wearing the star for Sacramento, which sets up a star pass.
First appearance on the jammer line for Rhodes Warrior.
Namaslay, back in a familiar jammer role, comes around at the very end.
And Sacramento wants to put a stop to this right now. So they'll stop the clock with 14 minutes and 55 seconds remaining.
Never too early to start thinking about tomorrow's after party. There's going to be a all-ages shindig at Sizzle Pie, 910 Willamette Street. Delicious pizza and fun for everyone of every age. And for the 21 and over crowd, there's the Diamonds and Denim official after party at Spectrum Bar. Celebrate another year at Big O and dance the night away with DJ Agent Meow. Wear your best denim and or diamonds, or even better, wear both. That starts at 10 p.m.
Sailor City on a 20-3 run over the course of the last 5 jams. Makes this a 9-point game. Both of these scores are divisible by 3. Fun math fact.
We're at the midway point of the second period. 14 minutes, 55 seconds remain. Sailor City trailing 105 to Sacramento's 114. Perla and Ariella Twister wearing the stars. Sacramento with a 1 blocker advantage, 4-on-3. Bodies hitting the floor, Shades of Ozfest 2001. Ariella Twister season opening gets lead jammer for Sacramento.
First lead for Sacramento since jam number 8. Puts an end to a 5 lead jams in a row streak that Sailor City had been on.
already around and through again. 4 points, Sacramento.
Cover off, but no pivot. The pivot's in the box for Sailor City.
Sacramento wall is all over parallel like stink on a wrist guard, throwing them to the inside. Parallel finally completes the Sailor City initial pass, drafting right behind Aerial Twister for a second Sacramento scoring trip.
So 11 squared playing 105. Actually, a little bit more than 11 squared. 122 playing 105. 17-point lead for Sacramento.
Namaslay and Rosetta Stone wearing the stars. Penalty box empties out. The odds are even. Rosetta Stone frantically going left, going right, going through, dodges ahead, gets lead jammer for Sailor City.
Last two times Rosetta Stone has donned the star, she has got lead jammer status.
Francesa taking Namaslay to the inside in a big run back the wrong way. Meanwhile, Rosetta Stone, or Perla gets a 4-point scoring pass. No, that was Rosetta Stone.
8-point pass for Sailor City. Brings them up to 113. Sacramento held scoreless, keeping that at 122. It is a 9-point game. Neither of these scores is divisible by 3.
Not with that attitude. Four 7-9 finish it, wearing the Sailor City star against 18 body of Sacramento. And finish it, gets lead status right at the pivot line. Body.
It's 2 in a row and 7 of the last 8 for Sailor City.
Spin to win. Sailor City goes round the back. It's a quick 4 points and a call off.
And now it is a 5-point game. Sailor City needs 2 scoring passes, but 2 scoring passes, if they're completed, could give them the lead. .587
Roja jamming for Sailor City alongside Areola Twister of Sacramento.
Credit to the skaters and the officials for not getting confused by the whistle bleed from track 2.
So we are in close proximity here between tracks 2 and 3. You have to have your head in the game at all times not to get that sounds carrying over.
Direction of play penalty coming in. That is Sacramento losing a skater on direction of play. Now a Sailor City pivot headed to the penalty box as well. They might both be direction of play penalties. Forearm now. Who's leaving on the forearm? Another Sailor City blocker.
In the no, there's a track cut called on Aerial Twister. So Roja with a Sailor City power jam, still working on the initial pass. Completes it right before turn 3.
And now another Sailor City blocker to the penalty box on a direction of play. There's only 2. Okay, there's only 1 blocker out there. Now there's going to be 2.
Roja with a boop to the outside by Narnar Binks.
Now here comes the reinforcements for Sailor City. And now almost all the skaters back on the track.
Including Areola Twister. Power jam has come to an end. Just bashing into the Sailor City wall.
Illegal position sends the Sailor City pivot back to the penalty box.
Aerial Twister putting some stank on it, escaping the pack. Jam is called off with Sailor City scoring 3, making it a 2-point game. Sacramento with a narrow lead, 122 to 120.
Over the last 3 jams, Sailor City on a 15-0 run. Nama Slay out there on the line for the MaulStars.
Against Rosetta Stone for the All-Stars.
MaulStars a punt on the Capitol Mall, the beautiful Capitol Mall in Sacramento, California.
A lot of physicality in the back. Everybody trading numbers with everybody else. Nama Slay sent to the inside. Rosetta Stone sent outwards. Back getting extended out. And reforming on the backstretch.
Penalty coming in. I'm not seeing a call or anybody leaving it. It's an illegal position. Sacramento losing a block on an illegal position. Lead blue, start pass white. Who ended up with that star pass before I miss it? I'll see it right now. I'll get it right now. 1971. Star pass was in 1971. Third time this period, fourth time in the game that 1971 was past the star.
Great defense by both teams' blockers there. Just put an absolute shellacking on the opposing jammers. Now body and finish it wearing their team stars. Body frantically going in and out. Repositioning, bringing it straight through the center for a Sacramento power jam.
2 leads in a row for Sacramento. Yep. I heard what you meant, not what you said.
Sacramento with one single solitary point is enough to extend their lead, 123 to 120.
Yeah, they needed that 1 point. They hadn't had any points on the board since jam number 14, so it ends a 4-jam scoreless streak for Sacramento. They're holding on to that lead, and it would be an upset if they can carry it, but there is so much time left. 6 minutes and 50-some seconds left to play.
Right. If you're watching this on the stream at home, you're playing announcer bingo, there's still a lot of derby left to skate.
There's nothing. Except that it's winding down. There's not a lot, but there's plenty.
I wanted to give him that free square, though. Areola Twister and Perla jamming.
Track count, who's it on? No one
Someone
yet.
who's about to get an insubordination, maybe.
Number 9 called on the track cut. That is Caroman.
And they will be joined by Areola Twister, who gets a track cut. And now Sailor City with a power jam. But still working on completing that initial pass.
Yep. And Sacramento, it's just a wall of blue up there. There's lead. Took almost a minute to establish lead.
3-3 pack on the back stretch. Here comes Perla in scoring contention. Aerial Twister back in the pack. Ending the power jam advantage, but Perla pirouettes around turn 1, 4 points Sailor City.
We have a lead change. Multiplayer block called on number 1984. That's Amanita on the multiplayer.
Perla coming back around, looking to extend that newly found Sailor City lead. Aerial Twister completes Sacramento's initial pass.
Timeout blue, their second. With 4 minutes and 55 seconds left to play.
And so Sailor City up by 4. They got 7 points on that last jam.
Visit derbywarehouse.com for all your Derby gear needs with free shipping and free returns. That's derbywarehouse.com. I'm going to say we said this. We've been talking about it enough. Fantastic matchup. If you're just coming from another track, you are head on over to track number 3. We've got a 4-point game. Sailor City leading 127 and 123. 4 minutes and 55 seconds left to play.
Going to be coming down to the wire. And this is just one of the first games here at the Big O Saturday. We're going to have roller derby happening all day long on all 3 tracks. Make sure you stay tuned on the Big O's web feed if you're watching us there. If you're in the venue, thank you for joining us. Support every team. Remember, Sailor City is taking donations for roller derby gear to take home to Argentina to help spread the sport in their native land. Roja wearing the star for Sailor City up against 108 Namaste of Sacramento. Roja on the outside, lead jammer for Sailor City.
Sailor City losing a blocker to the penalty box. That's 707 for Ataxia. Like she ataxia, but spelled with an X.
Namaste trying to push past the last line of defense on the backstretch. Completes Sacramento's initial pass.
Sailor City losing a blocker on a failure to reform. Looked like Amanita.
Roja calling off the jam. 3 unanswered points for Sailor City.
Makes the score 130 to 123. Just under 4 minutes showing on the clock. Number 18 for Sacramento is Roddy. Number 137 is Rosetta Stone. Out on that Derby Warehouse jam line.
Sacramento 4-3 pack advantage as the whistle blows. And Body takes advantage of that, getting through lead jammer for Sacramento.
Just the medicine the MaulStars needed.
Rosetta Stone hides the star, gets through on the backstretch initial pass for Sailor City right behind. Sacramento hits it, splits it, quits it, gets 4 points.
Good communication between JB and Body, calling off that jam. Keeping some time left on the clock. Take us out to that Derby Warehouse jam line, would you, Murray?
Aerial twister, jamming against finish it behind a full contingent of blockers. Well, jammers prowling back and forth. 124 Crystal running back, finish it.
Now both jammers getting drawn back. This will thin the pack, a multiplayer block, so someone's going to have a pack advantage. Nobody leaving on the multiplayer just yet. That is a Sailor City blocker.
Aerial twister dumped to the outside. No lead jam yet. Both teams still eligible for that status.
And we're still back at the pivot line. We've been drawn back to that pivot line. Here we go again. Let's go all the way back to turn number 4 now.
As Kaku flattening aerial twister, but 606 bounces right back up time and time again.
Sometimes they're forced to the infield, sometimes they're forced to the outside. Lead jam has been awarded to Sacramento.
At turn 2, finish it. Gets
it's a track
cut. So Sacramento power jam. Aerial twister goes in and out like mama's squeeze box for 4 points.
That is a lead change.
Coming back around, looking to rack up some more.
Jam is still on, now it's called off. Heard those multiple whistles from track 2. For a second, we thought we were called off.
Team timeout by Sailor City with 36 seconds left on the game clock. Sacramento is up by 1 point.
Poised for the upset. One jam, well, I don't know, I was gonna say one jam will return them in this, but we could easily have overtime.
What a way to kick off day 2 here at the Big O with a nail biter. Oh no, more points coming in for Sacramento.
That's what
they
I
got
thought.
a second scoring pass, so 7 points on the jam and a 4-point lead.
134 playing 130. That reduces to a 67 to 65 ratio. "36 seconds left on the clock." Going out to the jammer line on a power start.
That's Namaste all by her lonesome on the derbywarehouse.com jam line. Namaste goes full bore into the pack and out lead jammer for Sacramento. Power jam is over. Finish it back on the track. It's knocked to the inside. Recycling back around as Namaste comes in for a scoring pass.
Sacramento losing a blocker on illegal contact. Now we got a low block. No, a misconduct coming in on the Sacramento pivot.
Finish it. Gets through at turn 2. Initial pass.
No time
Namaste
left.
calls off the jam with a 3-point scoring pass.
So unofficial final.
137 Sacramento, 130 Sailor City. Our NSOs and refs are going to double, triple, octuple check. Make sure every T is crossed, I's are dotted, and
Sailor City did have 30 seconds to register an official timeout, but that 30 seconds has lapsed. This is an official final, 137 to 130, an upset as the 47th seed Sacramento MaulStars pass over the Sailor City Roller City All-Stars, the 37th seed. Victory lap for the team in blue. What a finish. We saw 4 lead changes in this period alone. No, 5. 5 lead changes in this period. 2 in the first. Lead changed 7 times during the course of this game.
and show some love for the Sailor City Rollers All-Stars.
I didn't hear you.
Oh.
Do you know what's coming up next on this track? I do. Murray Grande, can you tell me what's coming up next on this track?
Next up is going to be an MRDA game, the Puget Sound Outcast Roller Derby versus San Diego Aftershocks. Remember, we got Roller Derby happening on 3 tracks here all weekend long at the Big O 2019. Hashtag Big O 2019. Thank you for joining us. Bobby Narco, it's been a pleasure.
Okay, I'm Bobby Narco. We wish you peace, love, and roller derby.